Hi, and welcome to Your Inside Power. My name's Patricia Stepler, and we are going to be discussing how you can be beautiful on the inside as well as the out. I have a very special guest with me today, Jackie Capatolla, and she is in the beauty and fashion industry for over 3 decades, owning a salon. And now she has a program, which I'm sure we're going to get into today, that you may find yourself interested in. So I want to welcome Jackie to our show. How are you doing today?
Hi, Patty. Thank you so much. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me here. I'm so excited to be part of your show. So thank you.
Yes, and so you've gone from salon owner to motivational speaker. Tell me about that, because I'm sure you had to change who you were inside to be able to do that.
Yes, exactly. So yes, for 3 decades, I have been over 3 decades. I've been in the beauty industry. I had a salon for 27 years. I opened my salon when I was 27 years old with 2 small children at home. I had a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old at home. At the time, I became an entrepreneur. My husband and I made it work. We did what we had to do. I worked evenings and Saturdays, weekends, did all the things, right? And for 27 years, it served me well. I loved it. I enjoyed it. It's my passion, my heart. I knew at a young girl at the age of 16 that that's what I wanted to do. It lit me
Wow.
up. Yeah. And then just, something was tugging at me and pulling at me, needed to make some big changes over the pandemic and led me to coaching and consulting now and doing mentoring. And I love it. I love it. It's fun. And
So,
it's just a new step, right?
right. So when the pandemic happened, you had to shut your salon for sure, I guess, for a while anyhow. And is that when you decided, or were you thinking about doing something different before that?
Yeah, so I've always had this desire to do this coaching. I've been coaching pretty much throughout my whole career. I coached beauty school students. I went into the salons and I coached other hairstylists. I was part of a manufacturer company and I was a team member for them, an educator for them. I did platform work for them and I also designed and created things for Pittsburgh Fashion Week. So I've been doing a lot of the coaching, and inside of the building where I was for my salon, I was in a historic building downtown Pittsburgh,
Okay.
and there was a lot of corporations in that building, and I would go up in their offices and coach their teams. And I knew I had something that I really loved to do, and I believe behind the chair in my salon, I have been coaching my guests for so many years because it's not always just the outside, it's the inside too of how people feel whenever they get these services. So I knew that I loved it and I knew I had to make a change, but I never wanted to forget my why,
Mhm.
my passion for what I do and what I love. And that's why I like to say I'm bringing glam to the coaching industry. So closed my brick and mortar, went online and in-person events, and I'm bringing glam to the coaching industry.
Okay, so when you're doing that, have you kind of changed everything that you do, or do you just still do styling with hair and makeup and things like that?
I still do that in a different way. So
Okay.
yeah. So what I'm doing is now I'm coaching women entrepreneurs, right? Like yourself and other women entrepreneurs, women in business, coaches, authors, speakers who need to step and show up with more confidence with what they're doing, right? Because whenever we put ourselves out there as business owners and as entrepreneurs, we have to feel confident with what we're doing. If we don't, we're not going to be able to go anywhere with it because we have to have that in us to believe in ourselves, right? So I'm helping these women to show up more confident on camera like this because the world has shifted. Things have
Mhm.
changed. We are now needing to do this to be able to share what we do and show people how we can help them. So when my salon had to close and shut down for like three months, I believe it was 4 months, Pennsylvania. I'm in Pennsylvania. We had to shut down for a while, just like everyone else, right? The world was flipped upside down with
Mhm.
the pandemic, and a
Right.
lot of businesses, we could no longer serve people because we physically touch people doing their hair and all of that. So we had to shut down completely for 3 months. So I wasn't going to let that stop me. My clients needed me. So I started going online with them and I started doing these Zoom calls and I was helping them, sharing with them like, okay, well, what do you need? Let me see what you need. Your grays are coming in. Like they were feeling really like depleted because
Yeah.
they were feeling lost and they really needed us, So
Right.
I started giving them tips on how they could take care of their hair at home during this time that no one could help them because no salons were open, right? So no,
Mhm.
I couldn't help them and they couldn't go anywhere else. So I was helping them like this. And, that just really sparked something in me that like women need this beyond just the outer look.
Mhm.
It's more the inner feeling, right? So
Right.
that's where my 360 confidence total makeover was born, like years ago when I started putting it all together.
So I don't know if you've ever read the book Psycho-Cybernetics
No.
by Dr. Maxwell Maltz, but what he was a plastic surgeon. And
Okay.
what he noticed was that when he did plastic surgery, in the face,
Yes.
correcting a scar or, something that somebody did not like,
Yeah.
he knows that for some people, it just shifted who they were because they felt confident. But then he also discovered that for some people, it made no difference because they visually kept seeing that scar, even if it was no longer there, or whatever, problem that they had.
Right.
So my question to you is thinking about how, when people have their hair done and it looks good and their makeup's
Mhm.
good, how does that make a person's confidence change?
Oh, it makes a person's confidence change tremendously because what do we see, in ourselves? What do we see? We look in the mirror, we're looking at ourselves, we're seeing ourselves, and how we feel about ourselves matters. It really matters. It makes us show up differently when we go into a networking group, when we are helping others, when we are trying to be confident. Let's say you're selling homes, or you're a doctor, or you're a lawyer, whatever it is, and you're in a trial and you're working and you're doing your things. You have to feel confident about that and feel good within yourself. But the thing that I teach is, how does it align with who you are? What type of personality do you have? Because we all show up differently. We can show up classic as a rock star. We can show up as a romantic. We can show up as, very sophisticated. What do you like to do? How do you like to show up? How does that make you stand out? Because when you stand out, that's when you get magnetically attracted to the clients you can help. But it's being your authentic self, right? It's being who you are. And when we try to be someone we're not going to show up aligned who we are physically and mentally, spiritually, and all of it, right? So we have to know how to do that. And that's where my genius has come in. That's what I have been doing all these years that has set me up for this. And that's what I love to do now. So I love to help the women find that. Find out your style, find out who you are. And you asked me earlier, am I still doing hair and makeup for this? I don't particularly do it, but I bring in a team and
Okay.
we do a big photo shoot. We do a production day, and this is branding you and helping you to see your personality, your style, and branding you so that your business is aligned with who you are, right? Physically, emotionally, all of it aligned with who you are. And that is what I do. And that's how I help these women. So I have a team that comes in now and does the hair and makeup. I have a photographer. We do a 30 to 60-second commercial for you. Like, it's amazing. It's such a beautiful transformation.
Mhm.
And these women that I'm working with, whether it's in person and online, because we do in person where they can come to me physically for the production day, but we do online here as well as a lead up to that. And it's so incredible. I'm still doing what I love, right? Helping them to look and feel their
Mhm.
best, show up their perfect way, but in a new way, in a different way.
So how long does something like that take? Do you talk about leading up to it, and tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about what if somebody was coming to you and interested in your service, what would that look like?
Yeah. So I have many different ways that you can work with me. I kind of meet you where you're at, right? If you would love to just have an online presence like this, and we work on, your confidence building, your mission, your values, like bringing your brand to fruition and helping your brand stand out, we can do that. I have like a 90-day, like a 3-month package that we can go in and dive into that. And then I also have a 6 months and then a full year that you can work with me. But what I like to do is I like to do that. We do that, or you can come in person and we can like fast hyperspeed it. We can do like a 2-day retreat for you. And in that 2 days, we dive into it all. Like we do so much that, it's beautiful. It's a wonderful way to transition, and it's perfectly smoothed out. So don't get nervous or like worried that it's like too overwhelming. It's not. I lead you through it. And we get a lot done, like as if we were doing a 90-day, 3-month. We do it quicker when we're working together all day. Like we really dive into these things. And then you have your photo shoot and your hair and makeup and your fashions and everything done the second day. So the first day is all of the hardcore stuff about you, who you are, how you represent yourself. We brand you, we figure out all about you. And then the second day is we bring that forward in a beautiful way. And it just lights me up to see the clients, how they transition over these 2 days. I love the 2-day retreat. So either way, we can go online. And if you can't get to me to do the photo shoot and all of that part of it, I still can help you online to definitely bring you to a new level of expansion, because, the glass ceiling now becomes the floor, right? And we can move to new levels no matter what level we're at. If you're making 5, 6, 7, 8 figures, there's new levels, there's new expansion, there's new room, and there's always room to grow. And that's what I love to do and help the women.
So just to be clear, that 2-day program is instead of like a 6-month or a year program, it's all done in 2 days. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. Okay. It's done in 2 days. Like, because when we're working together on Zoom, we're doing calls and we're doing things as we're going along, right? We're not together every day. So it's not like, the time, but when we're together for that 2 days, we have a lot of hours that we are back to back working, on this full production day. And now somebody can
that an individual
or
is it individual group?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Is it an individual or is that like a group of people?
It can be either. What I love to do is I love to do team building too. So what I usually do is like, we will start with the owner or the leader of the team, get to know the culture of the business so that I can kind of get to know where you're at. And then we bring that in all together. We dial it together because that helps with your rapport. That helps with your bottom line. That helps with your culture of your mission, your values, everything come together perfectly aligned with your team, because now they know because a lot of times our teams, they listen, they hear us, they get it. But when they hear it from someone else explaining to them how their leader is and what their leader is all about, it's a new perspective, right? It's a new way of thinking for them. And then doing this production day with the team, the team building is just incredible. Like, it's so incredible to see that come together. They bond like no other, right? They bond like no other. So it can be both. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be both. And same with the online or in person.
Okay. And so do you also do like color analysis or anything like that, or to get their fashions correct?
Yes.
For the body. Okay. So you do all that also.
Yes. So that's part of my Wheel of Confidence methodology. So what we do is we go through the Wheel of Confidence methodology, and there's 5 pillars to that. And inside each pillar is a different level. And we get to a part where we are working on your colors, your styles, your fashions, what's good for you, how are you gonna perfectly be activated in your power, right? This is what it's about. This is about activating you in your power. And once you're activated, then you can go out and activate your team. You can go out and activate your clients, your dream clients, and they can come to you knowing and expecting and desiring what you are sharing, because you're so fully activated in what you're doing. You're so fully drawn to who you are.
Mhm.
You're owning it and you're claiming it and you're showing up. And nobody is doing this work because this is my unique work that I've created. A lot of times people are working on the mindset, or they're working on,
Right.
teaching you other things, but I'm teaching you how to take the outer appearance of yourself and align it with the inner strength of who you are. This is the work that I've been doing for almost 40 years, and bringing it to people in a new way, and just helping people to understand that it's the two that are really bonded together that help us to really show up and leave that legacy and leave that, desire for who we are to make an impact in the world. Because we all have God-given talents. We all have a
Yep.
purpose here. And this is what we're here to do. And I help you find that. So,
Yeah, because, sometimes, and I tell this to my clients, that we don't realize some of the gifts we have. And,
No.
sometimes it takes somebody else to bring them out and, to present them to you and say,
Oh,
here's a gift you didn't realize was there. And it is.
that is so true. That is so true. And when I work with my women, oh my goodness, to see that. I mean, we cry, we laugh, we enjoy, we have fun. We are so connected. And I love, that is like my favorite thing, is to watch them have those aha moments of like, wow, yes, this is what's been holding me back. Yes, this is what I'm good at. Yes, this is how I'm going to show up. This is my true identity of my work and the essence of who I am. And yes, this is what I can do to bring it to the world. And those moments are like a gift to me, because, when I was going through this transition of having my online business to my brick and mortar to the online business, it was really hard because I loved my salon. I loved my brick and mortar. It was my heart and soul for so many years. It was my passion. I loved it. I poured my whole entire being into it. And then to sit in that for a while, I got still. I got real still. And I listened, and God was speaking to me and saying, there's more. There's something more for you after this. Yeah. This is not it. And that's what it is. When I see that transformation and I see the women that really know now who they are in a new way than they never noticed before, is such a magical, beautiful moment.
Yeah. I was just thinking while you were talking there about aligning, with who you are, with, your outer. So my kids, when they were younger, would make fun of me, if we had a snow day or something. I would put my makeup on and fix my hair. Like, Mom, why are you doing this? You're not going anyplace. It was like, because I have to look at myself in the mirror. Yes. And I think of that as that's aligning who you are and the inside and the outside, and having it all together, that it just, makes a difference in who you are and how the confidence you have, and so on.
Absolutely. And it doesn't mean that you have to be full blown makeup or you have to be glammed up all the time. You could just be a natural, soft kind of person. And a woman, that's what you want. Mm-hmm. You just want a natural look to you. That's beautiful, because what is that? That's aligned to you.
It's aligned to you.
Yes, you are activated to that.
We're not all the same. And
we're not all the
same, feelings and ideas and so on. So you're exactly right. And there are beautiful women who do not wear makeup, and it's like, I was like kind of jealous of them because it doesn't take them so long to get ready.
Yes, exactly. You just have to do you, be you, understand what really aligns with you, what's going to activate you in your power, because we all have that within us, right? We all have that within us. That's our gift here on this earth. And having that, to bring that full forward, I mean, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. And those are the moments that light people up. You don't have to be anyone else, because we can't. If we try to be someone else, it's never going to come off the right way. It's never going to come off the right way. So there's no sense even doing that, right? We just be who we are, whatever that is, and we show up the way that's going to help us for people to find us authentically.
Right. So tell me a little bit about your book, Sheer Dreams.
Yeah.
What's
So
that about?
I wrote Shared Dreams back in 2012. Thank you for asking me about that. It's such a proud moment in my career. So a little backstory on that. When I was 16, I had wrote down on a piece of paper, I basically manifested having a business at some point. I was 16. I wasn't even in beauty school yet, nothing like that. I put on a piece of paper, I drew a house and I put Jacqueline's House of Beauty on it. And I knew that there was going to be different rooms for different things that I wanted to do, makeup and this and that. I knew that it was something that lit me up. And those notes that I had, so I had notes in a notebook of what I wanted to do. Well, years later, I found those notes and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this, right? So those notes inspired me to write my book. So I wrote my book, Sheer Dreams. And it's the cutting sheer. It's spelled like that, Sheer Dreams. It's all about the journey of a hairstylist, a beauty professional, being myself. It's about my journey and how I, went through that. Inside of that book is a picture image of my notes that I'm talking about. And the cover is fun because the different colors are in there, or like my husband's favorite color, my favorite color, my daughter's, my son. I kind of like put our family into the color mix of it. And that's how it came to life. And I'm just proud of it because it reminds me of being a young girl and having a dream, having a passion, and having a desire for something. And then at the age of 27, that came true. And I just love to inspire others to, go for it, go for it. Don't give up on your dreams. Keep your passion alive and really push forward to make it happen no matter what. I mean, I opened my salon with nothing. I opened my salon with nothing and I had it for 27 years. So it's that desire, right? That
Right.
keeps
And
us
I
moving.
love that story because, we live in this very instantaneous world. And so,
Yeah.
so many people think if they set a goal, it should be there right away. It took you 11 years
11 years.
to get there
Mm-hmm.
from the time you had that first idea, but it was there and we don't realize sometimes we have to go through stuff to
Yes,
actually accomplish that dream. And I
exactly.
just love that story. And, that it
Thank you.
reminds me of something I just heard the other day. These people were, um, I guess, just in the right spot, the right time. And they were asked to
Uh,
do this shoot on a yacht. And years later, he made lots of money and bought a yacht. And he looked back at that photo shoot and realized that was the yacht that he had done the photo shoot on. It was
oh,
just
see?
amazing
Yes,
because when we put those ideas down and get that idea, and even if it's just kind of like mulling around in our head,
yes,
then all of a sudden we see it come true. And it's like, this is just the way I pictured it. You know,
exactly,
and
exactly. So don't ever think that those thoughts or those visions that come to your mind, like don't just discard them. Like think about them. Like, okay, is this something that I really, really want? Is this something that I can really help to make happen? Is this something that's going to impact? And is this going to make me happy? Is it something that really I can eventually get to? And when we think about it that way, I think it makes such a big difference because like the same thing for when I had to transition my business. I had a thought, I had a vision of having a coaching and consulting business, didn't know exactly what it's going to look like, but I went for it again, right? I went for it again. So I like to say that that's God giving us like, okay, here it is, right? Here it
right,
is. You do what you're going to do with it. I'm giving it to you. You take it and go.
right.
And that's what really we have to think about. Like really think about those visions and thoughts that come into your mind.
Yeah, we have to keep in mind that one of the things I usually tell clients is when you get an idea and you've also been given all the talent and all the resources
Yeah.
to make it come true, but you have to do the work.
You
You
have to do
can't
the
just
work.
sit around waiting for it to happen.
No,
And you know that you didn't just sit around waiting for that
no,
salon to magically appear. You went out
right.
and worked on it. And,
Yeah.
that's that's the beauty. But when you have an idea, so many people dismiss it because they'll say, well, I don't know how, or I don't have the resources, or I don't have this or that. No, if you've got that
Yeah.
idea, you can make it come true if you just start thinking about it and taking a step. Just take one little step at a time, and
Yes.
you can make it come true.
Exactly. You take little actions one
Yes.
at a time. You do intentional work with it, right? Because the intentions that you do, the intentional acts that you do are the things that are leading you to that goal. And it's just a beautiful thing to watch. And it's a beautiful evolution of who you are. But that's the difference. Like, I want to see more people do that and be that 1% and 2% of the people that are really going after it and doing their things. Don't give up. You have to keep pushing through. Is it always sunshine, rainbows, and butterflies? No, not at all. I mean, there's a lot of ups and downs.
Right.
I was through the pandemic, the 9/11, the economic downfall of 2008. Like, so many different things could have stopped me along the way, and then the pandemic could have definitely stopped me, but I wasn't going to let that stop me. I wasn't going to let that end this for me. I wanted to close my salon at the age of 60 and retire. That was my dream and my goal for my whole career. Okay, I'm going to retire at 60, from the salon. I'm going to exit my salon, sell my salon, and let somebody else come in and take it over. That didn't happen. And that was very hard for me to let go of that vision that I had there. And, I never changed the name of my business. It's still Jacqueline's House of Beauty. I just changed my services, right? I just changed my services, and I probably will still retire at some point close to 60. I'm 56 now. And I'll still be able to do that and make that come true. It just won't be that brick and mortar, but keep going, people, keep going, ladies, gentlemen, whoever is watching this, keep going and don't give up and see that vision for what it is. Even if it's not clear, it will happen if you believe in it. And if it's truly meant for you to have it, if it's truly meant for you to have it.
Right. That is so beautiful. It's just perfect. And that just fits into my whole business, of encouraging people on the inside to discover those inside powers and to put the actions forth and to reach out and get those goals.
I love what you're doing, the impact that you're having, the lives that you're changing. Like, it's amazing the work that you do, and you didn't give up either, right? You're pushing through.
No, and I could have.
Yeah, I'm sure, right?
So many times.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
But you have a bigger calling. Right. And that you're made for more. And that's why you're still here. That's why you're still pushing through. That's what's important.
Yes. So if somebody wants to work with Jackie, how do they get a hold of you?
Yes. So you can definitely DM me. That is, like, if you're on Facebook, that's the quickest way to get a hold of me and to come into my DMs. But I do have my website, of course, Jacqueline'sHouseofBeauty.com. You can reach me there. I'm on all the social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube. So you can find me on any of those, Jacqueline Capatolla or Jackie Capatolla. But definitely reach out to me in the DMs. That's the quickest way, because I'm always on here promoting. And then I would love to welcome any of the ladies into my private Facebook community called Jacqueline's Inside Out, where we do a lot of trainings in there. I have a lot of free stuff in there. You can come in there and get to know us more. So that's Jacqueline's Inside Out. That's the Facebook community. So I would love for you to come in there, and I can offer actually a little complimentary call if anyone wants to jump on a call to, see if any of what I do can be a big help for you.
Okay. So I did put your website in the show notes.
Thank you.
And I will make sure that I get this information out too, so that people can join your group and, encourage them. You said Jacqueline's Inside Out?
Jacqueline's Inside Out, and it's JACQUELINE''S.
Okay.
I know a lot of people spell Jacqueline many different ways.
Okay, so I will get that out too. And it's just been so much fun having you here and hearing about what you do. And, knowing that you're out there for people that really want to get their branding done and feel good about themselves on the inside and the out. I think it's just a
That's right.
wonderful service that you're offering to women, and helping them to become the person that they really can be. So I
Yes.
thank you for being a guest on my show today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Patty. I'm so honored that you had me on here.